breaking news that's coming in. The preliminary eyewitness versions are now coming in. The CFI Baramati Flying Club has now stated that the pilot attempted to approach in poor visibility, went around and crashed during the third poor visibility. We're now being told that the runway 9 was there because it was into the sun and there were no aids. Late realization of the aircraft not on center line due to lack of navigation and the glare of the sunrise. I want to try and go across to senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor, who's breaking down those details for us from our newsroom. Abhishek, give us more details that could have been the reason as to what had really happened.
This is an expert opinion I have access through contacts, and this really gives you a picture of what would have happened in those last moments when the aircraft carrying the Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar crashed just ahead of the runway at the Baramati Airstrip. Now, what this means is, CFIT is essentially an aviation term, which means controlled flight into terrain, which basically means that the pilot is still in control, but at the same time there are circumstances which the pilot cannot really be on top of, and that leads to the aircraft getting into the terrain, which could be land, which could be mountain in front of it, or the forest, whatever. So what this means is essentially that because of the two go-arounds and because of the poor visibility, it's likely that while landing at the runway, remember there are two runways at the Baramati Airstrip. One is runway 29 and the other is runway 11. And while landing and making that approach, maybe because of the poor visibility, the exact airstrip was missed. It could be one because of the poor visibility, because of the moisture that we have been talking about, the fog essentially, and then the glare of the sunrise as the aircraft made its approach. For irrespective of which, but one of these two reasons, possibly any other more reason, what happens is that the aircraft veered away from the runway or could not reach the runway and did not align with the central strip or central line of the runway, and that's because of because of which it rolled to the left and could not make it to the exact runway and just crashed on the ground. Now, if we have seen the pictures, and the viewers would have seen the pictures since morning, sorry for that, and it's a tabletop runway in the sense that there is a runway and on both the sides there is a ditch. So the aircraft perhaps couldn't keep up and fell into the ditch, crashed, and of course then subsequently we know what happened. There was an aircraft stall as it tried to realign itself towards the runway, couldn't, and then crashed. This is the information coming to us through experts. This is essentially an expert opinion of somebody who's been there on the ground. And this could have a bearing on the preliminary probe report also rhythm, is what we are getting to here.
Yes, thank you, Abhishek, for giving us those details. It's possible